All right, now I'm going to show you how to do this in Manus. One of the things I like about Manus is that it's like Claude. You can go over and do all these different things. So let's do this. So we're going through, we're kind of giving it this. One thing I said, like about Manus, it goes and does a lot of this work for me. Now, hopefully Manus actually won't take that long. Sometimes it will. As you see, it's asking me some deeper questions here. All right. So now we got this kind of mind map of what we want things to look at. So let's take a look at this. This is kind of how we would want to ask the questions, maybe, if you can see it here. How this whole work, this calculator could work, the landing page and all this stuff. And what are going to be the step-by-steps when someone fills out the calculator? What are going to be the basic things of this is building the workflow for work? But let's exit out of this now. Makes things a little more simple for you. See if it can give us a visual. And on the right-hand side here, you're going to see how it's using some of these data points to do this. And we'll kind of see how this mock-up is going to look. And that way we can go in and look at the three tools, PriceGuide.ai, Outgrow, and ScoreApp. And you can decide which one you think is the best fit for you. Or if any of them are. Like there's plenty of tools out here. These are just the three I chose to select because I use HubSpot, and these work very well with HubSpot. All right, we're just waiting on this mock-up to come and play. Like I said, here we go. Now, look, this would be a little bit different than PriceGuide.ai, but this could give us a pretty good visual too if we want to do a custom module. And kind of go and build something with some code if we wanted to. But that's way more difficult. What we're trying to do is make things really simple so you can use these things on your website right away. And that's why I prefer PriceGuide.ai. The pricing is there. It's like $18 a month. It makes it fairly easy to do a lot of this. And this mock-up should be ready in just a second. As you said just a second ago, you saw it was already starting to generate some images here. All right. So you kind of see that, well, you saw that image for a second there of kind of what it looked like as it gets towards the ends here. And yes, I said you could hand this off to a developer. This could at least give you a starting place with PriceGuide.ai. So whether you're doing umbrella auto insurance, commercial insurance, so you can go as kind of detailed as you want. Now, we'll say the price guide AI is probably not built to go super detailed. You may need some kind of custom module there. But the good news is you could do that with probably an Outgrow, maybe even better, because of the way it does quizzes and assessments. So when looking at these different tools, you want to think about that. So as you see it here, it's even giving us the trust indicators, the form design. It's basically giving us everything to go and build this thing out. And it's doing all the work right here for us. All right, now we got our calculators. Take a look and see what this looks like. Remember, always give them the feedback here to get the free points. So we can kind of see now what these images look like. Let's start with this first one, where we could have this different property information in here. Now we go to stage 2 here. And then you could go to what it looks like on mobile. So this is just, this isn't really what PriceGuide.ai is going to look like when you get in there and do these different things, but this is a good way to build the mind map. Now let's jump over and let's kind of test these 3 different products. All right, real quick, in this video, I'm just going to do a simple walkthrough and show you PriceGuide.ai. So this is one of 3 kind of products I'll be demoing when it comes to pricing calculators and quizzes. This particular product is built specifically for pricing calculators when it comes to websites, trust funnels, and things like this. And look, pricing calculators are becoming very important on your website. Does this mean you have to give an exact number? No. What it means is, hey, I'm trying to just get a range. I'll give you an example. I'm using something like PriceGuide.ai. I know that in certain zip codes of Birmingham, Alabama, on flood insurance, I know what the pricing range is based on the people we've helped. Because of that, I can give a better range than my competition who's not able to give a range at all. Because of this, the customer sees the value. Artificial intelligence sees the value. Google sees the value. Well, Price Guide is just one of the ways I do this. I'm going to go in here and log in, though, and kind of, let's see what to try now. And you can do a 14-day free trial without having to do anything. And I want to kind of just show you what one would look like. This is auto insurance. So you can see here kind of what it would look like. If someone's trying to insure a vehicle, let's just say it's a motorcycle. Let's see. See the age there. Now, the only thing I would change here, as I said, you can kind of see you have 3 different coverages. I may call it bronze, silver, gold. You see kind of all these different questions here. Now, usually when it comes to calculator, though, I try to really keep it simple. You see this one's got 7, and we're at 4 now. And remember, this is just designed to be a range. This is a motorcycle, so we're going to see how it really comes out interesting, because I haven't done any motorcycles yet, but I do want people to see it. All right, so here's where they would give the information of the contact, This is just going to be kind of a test here for one of my team members. And boom, right here. You see the estimates. Look, you could brand this to the colors on Price Guide. And what happens is you can put all this information in right here. For example, you'll notice the words full coverage are nowhere in here. That's something I've clarified here. You can see all these different things. It's even giving you a disclaimer and all this stuff. It talks about all the different factors, all these different things. And you can kind of see how you could do this for Price Guide. And look, when this is filled out too, you can dump it into your CRM so the lead comes in the right way. So this is kind of the easy walkthrough on Price Guide. Now let's look at Outgrow. Outgrow is another one. First of all, it's just like Price Guide. You saw pricing up here. PriceGuide.ai had 3 different packages. They were like $18 a month, I think $50 a month, and $99. As is this one. You can see this one's a little different. Packages and things here. And how easy it is to get started. What I'm looking for is like the number of leads per year. I'm also looking for integrations. You can notice here you can embed it anywhere. Custom branding is something I'm looking for. Like, don't get me wrong, $600 a month is pretty pricey. You could probably get away with a $14 per month here. Price Guide, the most common one that people use is $18 a month. Very reasonable. But what I like with Outgrow, that some things like Price Guide aren't the best for, is, for example, look at their templates here. Not only do I have the numerical calculator, but I've got quizzes, I've got assessments. And look, you could also, and I'll go in and show you a different way to do this, but you could also do this with any form system that has conditional logic as well, to a certain point, where if they give you an answer to this, then you ask the next question, and then you give them results at the end. It's exactly how we have our custom module with Flood Insurance Guru built in our flood risk assessment. So this is Outgrow. And so one of the benefits for them over somebody like a Price Guide, though, is the different products you can see here. We have a lot of different things you can do here. And you can look at the content types here. You can use it for giveaways, all kinds of things like this. Now, there's another one we want to look for too. But when we go in here, let's just go to this free trial here and see. You got to give your email address to start the free trial course. Of course, they want to reach out to you. So let's just see what happens when I sign my content manager up for all these free emails to see how much he hates me. All right, so you see right here, we can start from scratch. We can generate with AI. We can import data. Let's go with generate from AI, because anybody who knows me knows I'm a great AI person. All right, let's, one of the things that I love about using, and I'll show you how to do this with Venus in just a second, but we can do a lot of it with Outgrow, and that is brainstorming ideas. So let's tell it what we want. So here's what we want. We're just going to use this for the flood insurance guru as an example. Now, I just broke my own rule, but the only reason I did is because I'm on a recording here, and that is I usually speak to the AI. I always just feel like we get better outputs when we're speaking to it instead of typing. But you start to see here of how we can build this. Well, we start to ask, do they own? Do they rent? And look, these are what we would call marketing qualified lead questions. It tells us what kind of lead we're going to be getting, residential, commercial. And once again, you start to see how these questions are being asked. I could do this with a HubSpot form. I could do this with a type form, gravity form, of all these different questions based on, okay, if the zip code is this and the answer to the question is this, then we can do this. As you can see right here, it's assigning these different values. And just using this as an example for you. And now we start to see how this calculator is being built for us here. You see all these different things? Let's see. And to give you an idea, like a lot of people will build a generic pricing, and that might work, but in the insurance space, things are very specific to areas and all these different things. So you can go super detailed on this, and the reason why we do in so many areas. So now it's starting to create this. And look, these are products I'm looking for that have AI built in like this to really help. As I said, it helps improve the customer experience and it just makes things easier where I'm not having to go to a different tool to do it. Now let's kind of go to this preview and see what it looks like. Now you can kind of see when I gave it that information. Let's start right here and see what it looks like. Now here I would probably, definitely improve some. For example, right here, I'm going to do more of a picture of Hoover, Alabama. And this is kind of how a type form is built as well. So you could use that. So you see now here, I would take away like learn more and I'll be like, get my price here. So let's see. And of course, it looks like it, when we hit learn more, you can't see here, it doesn't really give us that price. You remember the one how price guide actually gave us the price. Let's click on it one more time. Yep, see? And so that's a walkthrough on Outgrow. All right, now you can kind of see here too. This is Score app, scoreapp.com. So another really good one, as you can start to see the landing pages, what the landing pages look like, what a quiz looks like. So once again, these just kind of follow these different self-assessment tools. Let's go up here and look at templates. Let's just go over here and see. So you can see that it has the different surveys and things like this, products, and all these different things. You don't really see calculators here. You see like a scorecard. And you see all these different things here. as you go through and look at all these different landing pages, now let's look at the features here. How you can do these things really easy in landing pages. You can create these lead generating quizzes in minutes. As I said, if you're using a system like HubSpot, you could use the HubSpot forms to do a lot of this. It just will not be visually appealing as something like this. Or have the data reporting. Let's even look at marketing impact here. And it's kind of, you see this 1, 2, 3. This follows us, lets us know this follows the story brand framework, as you can see what these people are doing here, how it works, and all these different things. It follows that they ask you answer framework sometimes as well. It only takes 3 minutes. We've got the authority right here and how these different things are built. So we could use this as an easy template. Now let's take the scorecard and see what happens. See, one thing is now is asking for my information right off the bat. And it's going to email everything. Remember, Price Guide actually gave me the results right there. So those are some benefits when you're looking at comparing these three. So as you can see, there's a lot of different ways you can do this pricing calculator and these self-assessment tools. But these things play a very important role in lead generators, your website, trust signals, where customers can find this information out, even helping you determine marketing qualified leads. These are people that potentially are ready to buy today or in the near future, based on the questions that you're asking here. So these are all very important roles to play on your website, on your social media, your YouTube channel, where you can have these things, different things built out, and you can share them, bringing in those leads, and having people who say, hey, I raised my hand, I'm ready to buy right now, I'm ready to have a conversation about buying right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, share, subscribe, like the channel below so you can continue to get these updates. And if you're not in the private community, make sure to go and join it down below, where you can get the standard operating procedures about using these different things with AI every day. I'm Chris with Nature Business.